Howdy. Well, here's the start of another one. I bought a couple of Crosman 760 stocks that I should have realized were late 70s. It's the lighter golden brown color, and the overwash in the molded and grain details still looks really good. And the four stock is the same. It looks just beautiful. Got it for $9.99 on the eBay auctions. Anywho, I also found out that being from the 70s Power Master, the Pump Master rear receiver is different where the stock fits on. It's rounded rather than square, that little bit in the middle on the front of the buttstock. It's cut out 1/8 of an inch on the top and the bottom, so it fits the notch in the back of the receiver, as you're going to see here in a minute. So, without further ado, here we go. Okay, this is what we got to start with. The 760C Pump Master, built January '89. I had a rubber band wrapped around it because the pump piston shot. And here is the stocks, bolts and everything I got from that eBay auction. You can see what I initially called an overwash is very pronounced and looking really good. And part of the cocking lever mechanism on the four stock there with the pins. And I had to cut about 1/8 of an inch off that center piece there on the top and the bottom with a cutoff wheel and my Dremel moto tool on like 8.5 speed. After I marked it with the grease pencil you saw there. Here's the cutoff wheel. Good for fiberglass, wood, plastics. Can't use it on metal though, but otherwise that thing is great. Works real good for chopping and section fiberglass body parts. And here is the bottom of that centerpiece. I got cut off a little better. Still have to trim it with my X-Acto knife, #1 blade. And here is what I was telling you about the rear of the receiver. That's that notched out part. You have to cut down that centerpiece on the 70s stocks to fit in there, otherwise it will. And here is the buttstock installed. That four stock is darker than it looks there, so is the buttstock by a little bit. Digital cameras. You can see the old ones on the bottom there. And here is after I used a roll pin punch and that plastic hammer there to knock the pins out of the four stock so I could take it all apart. So the pins and that cocking lever will be extra. And this is why it's a roll pin punch. It's got the dimple there to go in the middle of what's basically a piece of steel rolled into a small tube and used as a pin. Roll pin punch. It keeps the punch centered. And this here shows that it looks like the stocks are actually cast in black, and in the silkscreen or something, the wood tone color over that. You can see there where the wood tones wore off. But we can't do that since the wood color is already on there, so we have to do an overwash with this burnt umber there, black or the lighter cafe mocha there, depending on the tone of the brown they used, and then top that off with true oil to seal it all up and everything. And here's removing the old four stock. No marking on that. And here's the new one. Only goes on one way, like you see it there. The front pin, and you see here that their pins are properly set and they're a little below the surface. The pins are always driven from right to left on all these 760s. But the rear pin is further towards the center than the front. And here it is with the stocks in place. Looks a lot better, doesn't it? For a Model C or Revision C, however you want to think of it. You can really see those markings. Okay, that's it's a quick part one, but that's all I'm prepared for right now. I've got to dig out the assembly kit with the seals and everything, and the BC Rich chemicals to strip off the rust and old bluing and polish it all up, yada yada. That's a lot of work to clean and polish the barrel and the pump tube before you can take a lot of time bluing it up real nice, and then do a little polish and lube tune on the trigger parts and everything. But we'll get to that on this one. It's by the way, it's a 760C build date of January '89. It actually says 760C Pump Master on it. I'll have to put that in the video. So, good Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll see you again. Real nice, partly cloudy day out too. Get out there and do some shooting.